deal with airplane peanuts?
Hey, welcome back to Joke World. This is round 2 of the March Madness podcast tournament results. If you're new here and you didn't see round 1, go watch that right now. I know a lot of new subscribers came in from the Tom Segura, Your Mom's House shout out. So welcome to you guys. We're doing a tournament based on our favorite comedians podcasts, but March Madness style. And then just one other thing based on that shout out real quick that I want to mention. Last night, actually, it was very exciting. Christina P followed us on Instagram, the main mommy herself. So if Christina's following us on Instagram, you should definitely be too. So the link is also to our Instagram in the bio. But let's get back into the podcast March Madness tournament. We had the Elite Eight this round. So there were 4 matchups. Region 1, the Joe Rogan Experience against Uncle Joey's Joint. A lot of people were saying the Church of What's Happening Now would have been better in this tournament than Uncle Joey's Joint was. But it's the 2022 tournament, and the Church of What's Happening Now has no episodes in 2022, so you had to go with the Joint there. Then in Region 2, you had Your Mom's House against Tiger Belly. Then we had this past weekend against the King and the Sting. And then finally, 2 Bears, 1 Cave versus the Tim Dillon Show, our big matchup of round 2. So let's start off in Region 1 with the Joe Rogan Experience going up against Uncle Joey, Joey Coco Diaz, and, obviously very good friends. This should be a good matchup. We had 4,200 people vote on this. And the Joe Rogan Experience took the cake 80% to 20%. This seems like he's just going to dominate the whole tournament. I wanted this to be fair and not be a popularity contest, but he has been rolling over everyone. Even the great and powerful Joey Diaz really didn't seem to put up much of a fight. Tremendous matchup. Joe's like beer. Everyone can get into it. Joey's an acquired taste, but a little goes a long way. Yeah, he's more of like a whiskey, like, a shot. It's going to startle you at first, but you only need 2 or 3 to get where you need to go. This does not mean I don't love Uncle Joey. I got to go with Rogan. His podcast has a couple guests that have changed my life. That's what I'm saying. People have different connections to the Joe Rogan Experience than to a typical podcast. Speaking of, actually, we just did part 3 of the Try Not to Laugh Joe Rogan Experience. It was posted yesterday, so make sure you go check that out if you're looking for a good laugh on this Sunday. But okay, so Joe Rogan, moving on to the final 4, beats his friend Joey Diaz in the second round. Moving on to the next matchup, Your Mom's House against Tiger Belly. These, I think, are 2 of the biggest audiences on YouTube as far as comedians and podcasts and reach go. I'm expecting this to be a little closer. 2,800 people voted on it, and Your Mom's House just slaughtered them. Wasn't even close. 74% to 26. YMH just on a mission this March. It really seems like they're going to be the favorites to probably win this whole thing. Some of my favorite episodes are when these 2 collab. Completely agree. That's the thing about this tournament, is that it's not really saying that one is better than the other. I'm a fan of every single podcast that's been in this tournament, obviously, but it's just fun to spark some competition and to vote and move people through a tournament. Tough one. Only way to choose is George and Nadav in a Ginger Balstaff cage match. Make it happen. I'd pay to see that. I love Tiger Belly, but it doesn't even compare to Your Mom's House. The following they have is insane. Following wise, I'd say these are a little bit comparable, but Sam disagrees. Did not expect this to be so one-sided. That's what I'm saying. I did not see 24 to or 74 to 26 coming, but nonetheless, Tiger Belly, good tournament so far. You had that first round win that we'll always remember against. Who did they play in the first round? We'll always remember it, I swear. Tiger Belly beat Whiskey Ginger. You'll always have that win in the first round against Whiskey Ginger that no one will ever forget and will always remember, especially me. Hot sauce is the best.
The enjoyment I get out of hot sauce and just lighting me up. Like, and he knows what I'm talking about, right? I can't hear you in the headsets. I have headsets on.
Oh yeah, I was saying hot sauce is the best. Yeah.
And then 6 hours from then I'm sitting on stage.
Hot sauce is the best.
Like I can't think of a breakfast burrito without fucking fire hot sauce. Like just like.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. And you're right, Ennie. Hot sauce is the best.
This shit is big time. Oh my. Don't bring anyone lovely to me.
I just want to know what I did to you. I just want to know, like, what? How did I?
Moving on to Region 3, which was the Theo Von show. Literally, it was this past weekend against the King, the Sting, and the Wing. 2,100 people voted on this, and it was 69, nice, to 31% this past weekend. So apparently, when push comes to shove, people will take Theo Von's side over Brendan and Diaz for the King and the Sting. Theo by himself is some sort of very peaceful craziness that no one else can achieve. Gang, gang, brother, I'm upstairs. 100% agreed. It is peaceful craziness. I've never thought of those words to describe it, but that is very astute. As you all know, the comedy podcast March Madness is brought to you by eWin Gaming Chairs. I just got my eWin a few months ago. Before that, I had a chair I ordered from Amazon, and the back of that thing broke within, I don't know, maybe 2 months, and I had to kind of use it like a stool, or else the plastic parts would like stab me in the back, and I couldn't lean back. Sometimes I'd forget, and I'd lean back, I'd get stabbed in the back, literally by my old chair. But eWin would never do that to me. It's built for comfort, it's built for luxury, but most importantly, it's better than any of your friends or family's chairs. So forever, when anyone brings up chairs, you can say, oh, I have an eWin gaming chair. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know shit about chairs. I have an eWin gaming chair. So that's really my favorite thing about it. But you know, there's a ton of great qualities. Like I said, comfort, speed, luxury. You can get yourself one of these bad boys for 20% off using the Joke WRLD link in the bio. eWin gaming chairs. There's nothing else I sit on. A lot of comments in this one debating like Theo by himself, or if he needs to get rid of Brendan, or just a lot of that kind of talk that you could expect in these comments. So Theo Von, and this past weekend, again, another 1 seed moving on to the Final Four. So far, the Final Four is 3 out of 4 1 seeds, but we have one more matchup to go today, and it's the biggest matchup of the day. It's 2 Bears, 1 Cave against the Tim Dillon Show. Legitimately 2 of my top 5 favorite podcasts. 91 comments on this one. 3,600 people voted on it, and the results, the percentages were 61 to 39 to 2 Bears, 1 Cave. So the Tim Dillon Show, with the Elite Eight exit of the podcast tournament, honestly, the seeding was tough here. I mean, it went the highest subscriber amount to the lowest, so I couldn't really control where the seeds were, but the Tim Dillon Show having to start off against Bad Friends, beating them 52% to 48%, and then in the second round having to see 2 Bears. I mean, they have gone through by far the hardest path to the finals in this tournament, or they were presented with the hardest path. I guess they didn't technically make it, but hell of a fight by the Tim Dillon Show. Tim Dillon's fans have his back more than anyone on the internet, and they all kind of act like him too. They're all a little bit angry, they're all a little bit gay, and they're all a little bit ranty. And look at this. Tim Dillon shows a religious experience every time you listen. Anybody voting against Tim just doesn't know who he is. Tim can't be denied. Tim is literally a god on his own, and every podcast he guests on. I'm kind of surprised 2 Bears is being Tim Dillon. Literally wasn't expecting that. Tim has the second biggest Patreon in the world, and he's the only comedian, in my opinion, who goes on other shows as guests and turns them into another episode of the Tim Dillon Show. Votes go for 2 Bears, 1 Cave, but all the comments are saying Tim Dillon. We know the Tim Dillon Show is better, and so do you, Joke WRLD. Yeah. Tim Dillon should have won this one. He should have. It's the more impressive podcast, yes or yes. But it's madness, man. Anything can happen. 2 Bears, 1 Cave with the not upset because they were the higher seed, but 91 other people are upset about it. So that's our Final Four. It's all the number 1 seeds. How exciting. Joe Rogan is going to face off against this past weekend, and Your Mom's House against 2 Bears, 1 Cave, which is obviously the same production company, and it's Tom against Tom. And the Final Four ended up to be maybe exactly what we thought it was. There weren't as many upsets in this tournament as I thought there might be. Here's the other thing, dude, is I'm kind of just doing this off of, on the fly, just how this video is. I didn't really expect that. I thought voting would be the most fair way to do this. And it turns out that all the 1 seeds, all the biggest podcasts turned out in the Final Four. So maybe that isn't the best way to do this, but then it's like, well, then what is? Because voting, it seems fair. We're getting 4,000 different people to weigh in on these podcasts, one against the other. But then you have this comment section full of people saying that this is the wrong choice, but then it's 61 to 49%. So it wasn't even that close. So very interesting, and too late to change now. So next Saturday will be the voting on the Final Four, and then the Sunday after will be the video, just like this one, discussing the results. Very exciting stuff, though. I'm still happy we're doing it, and the real March Madness has been super exciting also. I don't know if you guys are following that, but I'm a big sports guy, and that's been exciting too, but not even close as exciting as the Joe Rogan experience going up against Theo Von and this past weekend in the Final Four next Saturday, March Saturday, March 26th will be the voting in the community section. Then the 27th of March, that Sunday, again, will be a video following. Make sure you go follow Joke World on Instagram. We're featuring a new comedian every single day. Christina P follows us. Tuesdays with Stories account follows us. I mean, what are you doing if you're not following us on Instagram? That's a little bit embarrassing. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for voting. Thanks for participating in the tournament. Make sure you subscribe to Joke World on all social medias and keep having a very happy and very mad March. That was kind of a weird ending. I wish I said like something better than keep having a bad. Did I say bad March?